Children used to only be seen as savers and future consumers, but they've now become an influential and lucrative market segment. For many retailers and manufacturers, there are actually three markets in one. The current market, spending their own money on toys, confectionery, games, books and movies. There are also a future market for most goods and services, and a market of influencers who cause their parents to make millions of dollars of purchases. But are children simply being manipulated, or are they wise to the ways of modern marketing? AUT doctoral student Kate Jones is investigating the effects branding has on children.
Well, I've always been interested in why people do what they do, so we would call that behaviour. And in particular, I've been really interested in why children consume various products and also how they become attached and quite loyal to various brands. And that comes from part of my psychology background. There's a large body of research looking at how children actually get hold of consumption values, particularly in Western societies. But with the phenomenon of social networking and the whole online environment, if you like, there's very little looking at how children use online sources of branded information to become attached to brand.
Her current research looks at children consuming brand information in the virtual age and which sources of information have the most influence on them.
If we think about how many websites children can actually get access to, it's now numbering in the hundreds. What's interesting is what branding is happening in those sites that children are getting access to, and how influential are those sites in terms of getting children committed or loyal to brands. If you have a consumer, a child, committed or loyal to a brand, the logical outcome of that will be that's a future consumer. So there's big dollars to be made in terms of this electronic environment.
It's the 8 to 13 age group that Jones will focus on. She's now working on a way to measure the influences these electronic sources of brand information have on children and at what age point they have the most impact.
If a child is able to interact with a brand within a game, for example a computer game, video game, anything online, and possibly a social networking site, then my expectation would be that that site or that brand is successfully building a new consumer and a positive perception about the brand.
As well as comparing the effectiveness of different electronic sites, Jones wants to know what has more influence on kids' brand perception and loyalty, these interactive websites or the real-life interactions in the playground.
The age group I'm interested in looking at are 8 to 13-year-olds. The idea will be to get kids using a variety of sites and just report on what they think influences them the most. And I want to observe that process and also get the children to answer lots of questions, mainly around what do they think influences them, what will make them buy that brand, why, who said so, what's exciting about it.
The findings of her research will be targeted at a wide range of end users, including parents, educators and businesses.